Welcome to my show where we talk about what's going on in the world today. I am your host with the most, the Don, the disgruntled, the jester of jackasses, Meso. First off, I want to start this episode by giving a shout out to all the men and women in the U.S. military. If it weren't for you doing what you do, I couldn't do what I do today. All my people watching this show, I want you, if you see a soldier, I want you to walk up, shake their hand, and if they're in a bar, buy them a beer. These people fight hard. These people work hard just to keep you doing what you like to do. So, may not like politics, may not like what's going on in the war today, but at least appreciate that these people are willing to do that for you. Welcome to the section of the show I like to call World Events. Why? Because it's about world events. Now, unlike Fox News, I am not fair and impartial. In fact, I'm quite partial and maybe a bit of an asshole. And the first world event I want to discuss today is the mosque in New York. Now, I want to precede this by saying I have no problem with Muslims or the Muslim religion. I actually think it is very interesting. I've got a lot of friends from Iraq who are Muslim. But I do want to say the idea of putting a mosque near Ground Zero where a bunch of Muslim terrorists took down 2 towers and killed a whole shit ton of people, not a good idea. You see, in the military, we have this wonderful, magical creature. It's called a good idea fairy. Now, this good idea fairy will jump on the shoulders of leadership, and it'll whisper things into their ears like, all of your soldiers keep getting hit with IEDs. Let's do more foot patrols. That way they won't be blowing up the vehicles. No. Bad LT. The good idea fairy is a nefarious and evil creature. It will whisper things to you that you will think, oh my god, this is a wonderful idea. You do not want to take away any bit of armor between me and that explosive. That is not a good idea. You see, I was blessed with this magical gift. It's called common sense. Now, this magical power of mine prevents the good idea fairy from whispering these evil, nefarious things into my ear. Tell you what, all those people who are talking about pushing this mosque in New York, try out my special power. We have a bunch of Muslim terrorists. They blew up 2 buildings and killed a lot of people. Let's put a religious symbol of theirs right at Ground Zero. There's my magical power of common sense kicking in, saying this is a bad idea. While we're at it, hey, let's put a samurai over at Pearl Harbor. I'm sure that'll get the vote. What happened to the day when we actually tried to gain the opinion of people, gain the votes of people? Now we just sit here and do whatever, and if it pisses somebody off, well, only dead people vote on me anyway, so why should I care? Politicians need to get back to the idea of giving a crap. Evan Bayh, a retired senator, said it best. He said this government is so full of self-righteous, self-serving people and bullshit, mudslinging partisan ideas that we can't get anything done. And this mosque is a perfect example of that. I mean, when you've got half the country going, duh, you might not want to do it. If you've got, and this goes for all my LTs and captains and officers, if you've got 6 inches of steel reinforced armor between you and your troop and it keeps getting hit, good. It's doing its job. I'm not dying. In fact, all of your ideas should be to make me die less. Dying more, not fun. The second event I want to discuss today is smoking. Yes, I'm a smoker. But I'm going to have a bite to pick out of both sides of this little argument. First one to pick is for the smokers. If you're in a building full of non-smokers, if you're in a room full of non-smokers, if you're in the vicinity of non-smokers, quit blowing your smoke at them. They don't like it. It smells funny. I'm a smoker and I'm telling you, this shit stinks. Don't lie and say it doesn't. We know. We're just addicted. It keeps me calm, as does putting random videos on YouTube. Hey, I might quit smoking if I do this well enough. But my other bite to pick is out of you non-smokers. I get it. You don't like the smoke. You see, I'm rooting for you here. But please, quit infringing upon my rights. The way this country's going, I'm not going to be able to smoke outside of my own home at this point. I mean, yeah, okay, I get that it stinks. But if a restaurant owner, and he's a private owner, wants to allow smoking in his place, don't go there. That's like watching this entire show, getting offended at what I say, and continuing to watch it just so you can tell me about all the things that offend you. If I offend you, turn it off. Quit watching. If your kid's watching, and it offends you, and you don't like what I'm saying to him, turn it off. It's not that hard. There's a little X button in the side of the corner. Look, it's right there. Touch it. I'm gone. I'm off your screen. You don't have to worry about me anymore. The only people who should be watching me are the people who actually find me enjoyable and funny, and hopefully that's actually a few of you. Next segment of our show is what I like to call the Movie Corner. This is where I get to go over all the different movies I've watched lately and give you my take on those movies. Now, I have a rating scheme for these movies. It's on a scale of 1 to 5, and this is exactly how many bottles of booze I would need to get through this movie. First movie on our list, The Expendables. That is, hands down, before I even began, a 0 bottle. I could have gone to that movie dead sober, and I did, and I would still love every minute and be entertained through the whole thing. I mean, this is Sylvester Stallone taking a look back at old 80s action movies when plot was not that important. All that mattered was it was funny and shit blew up. And that movie delivered. That had an A-12 ripping apart little people in a tiny-ass hallway. I mean, this movie, knives flying everywhere. You can't imagine the testosterone pumping awesome. And now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes plot is good. But when you got that much testosterone flowing through one movie, we can forgive some plot holes. Next movie on our list is the B-lister of the day. I tend to watch some really bad B-listed movies just because. And our B-lister for today happens to be Transmorphers. Not to be confused with Transformers. Once again, Michael Bay, thank you for not destroying my childhood and making a shitty movie. No, this is Transmorphers, where a bunch of alien robots have taken over the planet and humanity's last hope for survival lies in one individual. This movie is horrible. It is, I mean, as far as B-listers go, I think this has to be the worst one yet. The CG graphics, I'm pretty sure they spent maybe $10 in an hour to get that done. I think I could do a better job on my computer, and I know nothing of making movies. With that being said, they had a 5-minute period, an hour into the movie, the first hour of the movie, you're not really sure what's going on. Do you feel for the characters? Don't you? No. You don't know, because you don't even know who the hell the characters are. All you know, they keep calling the women sirs, and yes sir, no sir, you're talking to a chick. And the 5 minutes, about an hour into the movie, there is a 5-minute period where they literally stuff every movie cliche humanly possible. Guy saves girl, girl thinks, or he thinks girl's dead, girl's not actually dead, comes back to life, nobody knows how. Guy turns out to be a robot, the only hope for saving humanity, the irony being he's a robot and he's got to save humanity from robots. Ow. Literally, you've stuffed so many cliches into a 5-minute period that I swear to God, parts of my brain started to aneurysm while watching that. In fact, that is what we call a 5-bottle movie, in that I have to have alcohol poisoning and nearly be in a comatose to actually enjoy watching that. And yes, I know it's a B-lister, I wasn't expecting much, but you, Transmorphers, you failed to deliver what little I expected. Well, folks, that's our show. After a 4-pack of Monster, a pack of cigarettes, and many, many late hours editing in a whole bunch of dry humor, I hope you enjoyed. Remember, this is viral video, so if you do find somebody you think may enjoy this, feel free to send them the link. Y'all have a wonderful day.